Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining us here today at the PRI show, and for those also that are listening and watching the streaming of this announcement on IndyCar.com. My name is Kevin Lee from NBC Sports, one of the IndyCar broadcasters, and we have a very special announcement that I know many are excited about in the IndyCar community here today. With us, we have Dale Coyne from Dale Coyne Racing, and from Jonathan Bird's Racing, Jenny Bird, Jonathan Bird, and David Bird. And this kind of spoils one of the announcements because we have a race car driver up here with us, and it's Brian Clauson, a two-time starter in the Indianapolis 500, a four-time champion in USAC. He's won something like 160 feature races amongst all series, and he's going to have an opportunity for something very special coming up. And Dale, please make the announcement. Tell us what is coming for Brian.
Well, thank you. Thanks everybody for being here today. We got several announcements today. We're starting with announcing Brian driving the Dale Coyne Racing, Jonathan Bird Racing, IndyCar, and the next year's Indianapolis 500. Brian's history is pretty stellar. In a warm spot for him. I would think I was the last kart owner on the USAC board, so to have somebody, a four-time USAC champion, is kind of nice. And we're happy that the Bird family is on board to help with this program. I knew Jonathan very well, and couldn't be happier with this relationship. So we look forward to next year. We're going to have him out testing, do the test in April with him, and be ready for the month of May for the Indianapolis 500.
Brian, what's this mean to you?
It's exciting. You know, the Bird family came to me, I think it's 2.5 years ago now, and with this plan laid out to take a short track grassroots guy like myself back to the speedway. And when we left that first meeting, I wasn't really sure if he was really being real or not, and here we are for the second year in a row, so I guess it's for real. And the Bird family's been great to myself, obviously with what we did last year, and then our continuing growing plans and their involvement in racing, not only on the IndyCar level but on the short track level as well. It's been exciting, and obviously the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, big year for everybody. And I've said for the last year, and I should have said it sooner, but the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is it's like Disneyland for race car drivers. It's it's the happiest and coolest place on earth. Some days you hate it, but at the end of the day, you look forward to nothing more than walking through those gates every morning during the month of May and spending your time there. So really excited about being back and the partnership with Dale and his team, and just can't wait for April to get around here and get in the car.
Well, luckily, you can spend the entire year focusing on this one race because you're not very... Oh, no, this is one of 200 races you're planning next year?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy idea we drew up. You give us... I just got done telling Dale this year, this is my last off weekend until probably this weekend next year. And unfortunately, last year I had an off weekend sometime before this, and I was able to tell David my dream plans for sometime down the road to do, and here we are a year later with this 200 race schedule, and it really was never about 200 races. It was more about racing as much as I can, being at premier events throughout the country, whether it be non-wing, sprint car racing, USAC midgets, World of Outlaw races. There's a lot of premier races throughout the country on the short track level that we want to put our name on. And obviously not a short track race, but the Indianapolis 500 is kind of the centerpiece to it all, right? It's the marquee event. It's what these short track races are building up to, and it wasn't that long ago that the guys that won those short track races were at the Speedway.
Very exciting news for Brian Clauson, back for the 100th 500 in 2016. Jonathan, I want to start with you. We knew that Brian was going to be associated with you and in the 500. We weren't certain what the team was going to be. Talk about how you came to an arrangement with Dale Coyne and how you're making all this work.
Well, thank you, Kevin. It's great to be here, first of all, and it all started with our relationship with the great folks with LST Marketing and John Lopes and Stark Taylor. They had a relationship with Dale, and they came to us and said, "Here's this opportunity to to do something really, really grand. And my brother and I talked to Dale, mostly my brother David, who's really just instrumental in putting us all together. And really when it comes together, this was not very long to make this deal happen, and that's usually how the great deals happen. It's two parties getting together with a common interest, a common goal, the love of racing, and it all works out really well to make everything happen. So we're just so excited again to have Brian and competing in the greatest race in the world. I'm so excited about next May. Looking forward to what's going to be going on and everything else that we've got planned for Brian and for other things that are getting ready to happen as well.
And we're going to talk with David coming up in a moment. Jenny, I want to hear from you. Jonathan Bird's cafeteria. Jonathan Birds has been associated with the Indianapolis 500 for many, many years. I want you to explain somewhat the rebranding of the business and the expansion over the last few years of Jonathan Birds.
How much time do we have? Okay. First of all, let me say how excited we are to be involved with Dale Coyne Racing. He's been in the trenches for many years. He understands. He knows how to win. And he's also a restaurant person. So, hey, we understand. When David came to me a couple of years ago and said, Mom, we have to go back racing. I go, really? No. I never ever told the boys I wanted to get involved in racing again, because if I had, they would have been all over me. Like, okay, right now. So anyway, we eased back into it, and we were very excited to have Brian as part of our team. He's a good fit. He's a local boy. He's a dirt tracker. If you haven't seen him on dirt, you are missing a show, let me tell you. And our roots, of course, were small tracks, dirt tracks. So Brian was a great fit. So we are very excited to be back to. We have next year is so busy. I can't even begin to tell you how crazy next year. This young man is going to run 200 races in 2016. And we're going to help him. We're going to feed him a lot of fried chicken and keep him going. I'm going to, chicken and noodles. I'm going to airmail it everywhere. So anyway, this is exciting. The kids and I we couldn't be more excited to be a part of all this.
Thank you, Jenny. Jonathan Bird's Hospitality and Restaurant Group on the side of the car for the 88 for Brian Clauson. But that's not all. Dale, you have more for us.
No, I think a lot of people know the next announcement, but what they might not know is that the Bird family is sponsoring Conor Daly for the full season. So that's the big news here, I think. Everybody else knows the other part.
Did you know this? Please welcome Conor Daly, who will compete in his third Indianapolis 500 coming up in 2016. Congratulations, and this is a nice Christmas present.
Yeah, it's not bad. People still don't believe me, though. They're like, no. Well, good luck with that. I'm sure I hope it works out for you, because after the last 3 years, it's been interesting. So it's really happening. So you guys can fully believe that now.
And this is more than the Indianapolis 500. You've had the chance to do that a couple of times, but now you're going to get a chance to really show what you can do. You've proved it in Europe. You've won races in Indy Lights. You won a Pro Mazda championship. You've won GP3 races. Now you can compete for the championship in IndyCar.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think about. I mean, I've been at IndyCar races since birth, so it's really cool for me to be a part of this group, especially with such great ties to Indiana. I mean, this is where I was born and raised, so it's a dream come true. It's an incredible opportunity. All the guys on the Dale Coyne Racing team are super pumped, and everyone's ready to attack this. So I can't wait to get ready to go. We're already testing next week, so I'm excited about that. And I guess it'll really set in at St. Pete, because I love St. Pete, and I've had to watch it for the last since 2010 or 2011. So I can't wait to get down there.
David, this is the surprise. We knew about the Brian Clauson relationship, and we had heard that Conor had been talking with Dale, but this sponsorship and this partnership is a little bit different. And by the way, we have two Noblesville guys. You're Indiana people. Tell me how this came together.
Well, we scoured the planet looking for race car drivers, and apparently all the best ones were in Noblesville. No, it's been a rapid advance. It was the plan initially was to come back to Indy for the 100th running, and we advanced that forward by a year, and then the plan was to maybe just ease into a few more races for Brian's schedule with IndyCar, maybe a few more ovals. We kind of changed that up this year, obviously went a different direction. But then when the opportunity to work with Dale came, and it was an interesting business proposition. It was great for our hospitality and restaurant group brand to go full season IndyCar racing, and we were kind of considering it. And then when we found out that that Dale was talking with Conor, really wanted to finally help Conor make that next step and the jump to IndyCar full time, we decided that was the perfect fit. We have our company. We're Indiana based. We're all over. We're obviously strong in Central Indiana, but growing our brand throughout the state through our various food service operations. So being able to attach ourselves to another Indiana driver who's worked so hard, made so many connections, who's done so well when he's gotten behind the wheel of an IndyCar and just needed that opportunity to shine, and then to go with a team like Dale that has such a history of bringing young drivers into the sport. That it all came together, made sense, and we couldn't be more excited to pair these two guys together as teammates at Indy, and then to put ourselves back on the full season IndyCar circuit in partnership with Dale. It'll have been 16 years since we had the Jonathan Birds full time in IndyCar and took the Jonathan Birds brand all around. Obviously, Dale has a history of winning. With several different drivers. We've got a little bit of history of winning. His is far more recent than ours. But we think that we're going to kind of reset those books. We fully expect Conor to be competing week in and week out near the pointy end of the field. Lots of fast sixths. I mean, Brian's always in the fast six at the USAC races and everywhere else. So, Conor, you have to do the same. And we can't wait to get started. It's going to be great to see him next. We're going to see that car on track, maybe not in those colors quite yet, but we're going to see that car on track next week. And it's a whole new era for Jonathan Birds, for Dale Coyne, for Conor, and obviously for Brian.
And along with the branding with Jonathan Birds, there's also a special partnership involved with this car I'd like you to speak about as well with the Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Yeah, actually, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America is our primary partner for all of our motorsports operations. Probably in the near future, we'll be releasing imagery of our short track cars. All of the cars that are affiliated with Jonathan Birds Hospitality Restaurant Group and Jonathan Birds Racing. It's a vertically integrated program, and the Cancer Treatment Centers of America is the primary partner for all of those. So the wing car, the non-wing sprint car, the midget, the Silver Crown car, a pavement wing sprint car, Conor's Indy car, Brian's Indy car. All of them will have the same color scheme, the same partner structure, and we're just going to have a lot to do with the Cancer Treatment Centers of America for quite some time. Actually, you don't expect this to be a one-shot deal, because our relationship with them right now is it's a 5-year relationship through 2019 at the moment.
I'll open it up to questions from media or from fans that are gathered here coming up in just a moment. But I want to finish with Dale with something. I think when people saw the news reports that Dale Coyne Racing is going to announce a full-time driver and an Indianapolis 500 deal, there was concern, is he cutting back from 2 full-time cars? Tell us what you know.
We're going to run 4 cars at Indy. In a nutshell, I mean, you can do the math. We're going to run a second full-time car. We normally save that till Thursday morning before the first race. So I don't want you to get used to this early announcement stuff here. And then we're putting this in the finishing touches on Pippa Mann's deal again. So I think that'll be our 4-car program for next year. But no, we're excited about this. Brian with his history and Conor, he did a little bit of running with us at Long Beach this year when he filled in for the injured Rocky Moran, and did a great job, very professional. So it's been good. A lot of people around him supporting him. I knew his dad. I worked on his dad's race car the first time he did a IndyCar race with the Wizards out in Phoenix and down Basal in some little hole-in-the-wall place. So, no, we're excited about it. We're excited about next year. We're excited about 4 cars at Indy, 2 full-time cars, and the timing's good. We test next week, so we'll go out and run. We got the new Aero Kit bits to run and learn a little bit about that going into next year, and get after it. That's what we do.
Very good news today. Does anyone have a question for anyone on the panel here? They will be around for a few minutes. We knew that was going to happen because the journalists like to do one-on-one settings, so all of our guests will be available here and lingering for a moment if you'd like to chat. Thank you for joining us on IndyCar.com. We've got more coming up here from the IndyCar location at PRI throughout the rest of today and tomorrow as well. So congratulations to Conor Daly and Brian Clauson and Jonathan Bird's Racing. Thank you for joining us, and looking forward to seeing Dale Coyne Racing back on track in 2016 in the Verizon IndyCar Series.